My name is Eliza, and I'm alive today only because the truth rose faster than the water. This is the story of the night my own sister tried to kill me. The rain started 3 days before. At first, it was gentle, almost calming, the kind that makes you want to curl up with a blanket. But by the second night, it had turned into something else entirely. The wind screamed against the windows. The gutters overflowed. The news was telling everyone to be ready to evacuate. We lived in our parents' old house on the edge of town. The street out front had flooded before, but nothing too serious. This time, the water was different. It moved with a speed and hunger I'd never seen. I was upstairs, throwing clothes into a bag, when I heard footsteps in the hallway. Heavy, slow. I turned to see my sister. Her face was pale, her hair sticking to her cheeks from the damp air. But it wasn't fear I saw in her eyes, it was something colder. "Eliza," she said quietly. Too quietly. Before I could ask what was wrong, she shoved me hard. My feet slipped on the wet floor. I fell forward, tumbling down the basement stairs. I landed hard, pain shooting through my knee. For a split second, I thought she'd come running after me to help. But instead, I heard the door slam, and then the click of the lock. "Sarah!" I screamed, my voice echoing off the concrete walls. "Open the door. It's flooding." She didn't answer. Water began seeping in from the far wall, snaking across the floor in cold, twisting streams. At first, I thought maybe she panicked. Maybe she'd run to get help. But as the minutes passed, the truth sank in. She wasn't coming back. The water rose to my ankles. I pounded on the door until my hands throbbed. My throat ached from screaming. "Sarah, please, don't do this." The water kept rising. My jeans clung to my legs. The cold felt like knives in my skin. By the time it reached my chest, panic was replaced with a horrible calm. My mind kept asking the same question over and over. Why? Then I remembered. Our parents' will. The house. The insurance money. The debt she'd been hiding. If I died in that basement, everything would be hers. When the water reached my chin, I knew I had only seconds left. My legs were numb. My breaths were shallow. The roar of the storm outside sounded like the ocean swallowing the world. And then glass shattered. A rush of icy air hit my face. A flashlight beam cut through the darkness. "Hold on, we've got you," a voice yelled. 2 rescuers pulled me through the basement window, lifting me into the raging storm outside. I coughed, gasping for air, my body shaking violently. But I was alive. When they asked me what happened, my voice cracked as I told them. They went to search for her. But she was gone, not washed away she'd run. Days passed. I stayed with a neighbor while the house dried out. People whispered. Some didn't believe me. Others looked at me with pity. And then she came back. She knocked on the door like nothing had happened. Her voice was soft, apologetic. She said the flood had confused me, that maybe I dreamed it. She tried to hug me. I froze. What she didn't know was that a neighbor's security camera had caught her locking that door. The footage showed her face lit by a flash of lightning. The look in her eyes when she turned the key. The trial was quick. The evidence was undeniable. I sat in the courtroom, staring at her as she avoided my gaze. There were no tears in my eyes. No satisfaction, just the cold understanding that my sister was gone long before that night. She thought the flood would bury her crime forever. But like water, the truth always finds a way to rise. If you're watching this, remember sometimes the storm outside. Your home is nothing compared to the one living under your roof. Subscribe to my channel and like this video for more true survival and revenge stories, because the scariest tales are the ones we live through. And the moral: blood may be thicker than water, But betrayal washes both away.